All right, guys, welcome back. It's your boy Q, and up next we have the real ghostwriter behind Drake's best albums. Shout out to the WR channel for the video. Yeah, man, it's it's like I feel like a new reference track is released every like 4 or 5 months from Drake. But yeah, enough dilly dallying. We'll jump right into the video. The video again is entitled "The Real Ghostwriter Behind Drake's Best Album."
While most eyes were on Quentin Miller during the ghostwriting scandal, the real person of interest should have been Hush.
And honestly, man, I feel really bad for Quentin. I actually have a video coming out reacting to basically his story. But he's one of Drake's ghostwriters on a bunch of the tracks off If You're Reading This Is Too Late. And definitely his career never shaped up. He had incidents with Meek, etc. But we'll get more into that in the video. So definitely, if you're interested in that, definitely hit the subscribe button because it should be dropping soon.
Known for his low profile and behind-the-scenes work, Hush has allegedly contributed significantly to Drake's lyrics for years. Today, we're diving deep into one of the music industry's best-kept secrets, hiding in plain sight. This story has flown under the radar, and not many have talked about it. We're uncovering the mysterious tale of...
At this point, it's not even a ghostwriter. It's a writer that now is getting like their credit actually exposed, because if he's on the credits, then they wouldn't make him a ghostwriter. A ghostwriter is a person that isn't getting any of that. You don't even know that the person was involved in a record. These guys are just, it's, you know what it is? I think it's that the fact that there's no more liner notes, like there's no more CDs, and some of y'all might not remember, but in these CDs, they had booklets in them, and in the booklets would have the credits. Everything from like where the record was mixed and mastered, recorded, who helped out on vocals, who wrote the song, just period. All that stuff. Musicians, if there was like a guitarist, everything would get credited. We don't have that. Or if we do, it's really hard to like actually find out. And today, honestly, a lot of music isn't properly credited. But it's not even ghostwriters at this point. These are legitimately his writers because they're getting credit on these records. Even though, honestly, sometimes if you look deeper, some of them aren't just writers. Some of them are producers because that's a part of the writing of the album. So you'll see that in there too. Like if you see like 40 on there, if you see like Hit Boy, and more than likely it's his part is like the production side. But when you see a rapper on there, it's like, all right, bro, like you did something. Either you helped with the flow and they gave you some credit, or maybe you wrote the whole song. Who knows at this point?
Of Young Tony, better known as OVO Hush, and his alleged role as Drake's ghostwriter.
Look like O'Shea
First,
Jackson
let's
Jr.
quickly examine who exactly OVO Hush is. OVO Hush's real name is Anthony Powman, but he goes by Young Tony in the hip-hop world.
I made a song for you weak niggas, got toothpaste for you sweet niggas.
As a member of Drake's October's very own sound crew, Hush's name has popped up in Drake's lyrics, like in the tracks Miss Me.
Got the weird. Hush gotta go.
Reportedly, Drake even named the track Deep Pockets after two of Hush's early mixtapes. In May 2020, Drake jumped into the comments on one of Young Tony's Instagram posts, where Tony asked who the best MCs in the hip-hop game were. Drake's response, "My top 5 is Biggie, Hove, Wayne, Young Tony, and Andre 3000, since nobody asked." It's a bit strange to see Drake include a rapper in his top 5, who barely has any music online, alongside legends like Jay-Z.
Probably because he owes his career to him.
And Biggie. This could only mean that the bulk of Young Tony's work is in Drake's catalog. But the story doesn't end there. Remember the 2015 controversy when Meek Mill accused Drake of not writing his own raps?
That was the Quentin Miller
Meek pointed
debacle.
to Quentin Miller as the ghostwriter. However, other sources within the Toronto music scene say that Hush has been the main writer behind many of Drake's hits, long before Quentin Miller came into the picture.
I mean, his record that was literally just played sounded a lot like early Drake. Like, it would not surprise me, man.
Hush is probably my favorite rapper that ever came out of Toronto. Literally the best rapper I have had ever heard.
We've known forever that Drake has a team of writers.
Hush has also been credited with co-writing some of Drake's biggest albums, writing on classic tracks like Over My Dead Body, Crew Love, Take Care.
See, this means you're not a ghost because you're getting properly credited. I kind of wanted to make it known for a minute, but I just feel like people have been using it interchangeably. But yeah, see, this is properly credited. That's basically production credit because they do get credit as a writer. So at this point, they're not even ghostwriters. They're legitimately his writers.
And We'll Be Fine, Anthony Powman, better known as OVO Hush, has made significant contributions to Drake's discography. Powman's influence extends to more lyrically complex songs such as Lord Knows,
He's
Hell
the
Yeah
rapper,
Right, and The Ride. But Powman's work doesn't stop there. His name also appears on several tracks from Drake's third studio album, Nothing Was the Same.
Worst?
This includes credits on the opening song Tusk.
I'm not gonna lie, I love that record. But man, This guy Tony is literally littered throughout all his credits.
In Leather, often hailed as one of Drake's best intros. Additionally, Palman is credited on the bonus tracks Come Through and All Me, which features 2 Chainz and Big Sean. So why hasn't this blown up more? We can only suggest
because people aren't looking that deep. They're not checking like credits. Like I was saying earlier, there's not really a physical source for like liner notes, and a lot of these people don't even properly credit them on these platforms. So that's probably one of the reasons why. And people probably just don't care to dig that deep. But yeah, these people are there. They're not ghostwriters anymore. They're not ghosts. They're properly credited, which makes it even crazier because it's like it should have been known this whole time.
That there's a revisionist history in the making. Many people within the industry know about Hush's contributions, but it's kept quiet to maintain Drake's image as a top-tier lyricist.
Of course.
There's also a fascinating theory about Hush's nickname. The name Hush is said to stem from Hush Money, implying that he's compensated to keep quiet about his contributions to Drake's
music. He looks like he's living the life, man. He's not missing any meals. This guy's PJ'd out, fucking getting cuts probably in Drake's bathroom. Like, this dude's probably living the life.
Music. Rick Ross has also called out Drake for using Hush as a ghostwriter, although this claim didn't gain much traction. Interestingly, the comments were more focused on why Rick Ross seemed so obsessed with talking about Drake amid his ongoing battle with Kendrick Lamar. The specifics of Palman's contributions to these tracks are unclear. They could range from minor input to significant writing.
Could be the whole record.
However, his consistent presence in Drake's work highlights the importance of his contributions. Drake himself has proclaimed Anthony Palman, aka OVO Hush, as one of his top 5 rappers. Despite the mystery surrounding Drake's ghostwriting allegations, some stands like DJ Academics argue that it doesn't matter, pointing out that many artists use ghostwriters.
Like some of y'all, I was once naive that every rapper wrote every line of every song.
No.
None of them ever took a hook, a line, a punchline, a reference.
While some rappers take a stand.
Yeah, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about full songs when we're talking about like the whole Drake situation. Yeah, of course. In the music business, there's going to be times where one of these artists takes a hook or takes something to make something poppier or something catchy, you know, but they're still going in and writing their verses. And a lot of times it will go in and revise the hook a little bit to match a little bit more of them. But like, yeah, it's not a secret that people use writers. It's like when we get these one-to-one renditions is when your stock as a rapper drops, obviously.
And to criticize this practice.
He's definitely great at what he do. And he's good, but he can't be the greatest rapper. You're not supposed to be biting. You're not supposed to be taking other people's stuff, and you're not supposed to be having a bunch of writers.
I got some really sad news for all of you hip-hop passionate fans out here in the game.
Yo, boy.
Most of your favorite rappers got ghostwriters.
An MC, a true MC, cannot do that. No shape, fashion, or form.
Like I said, they've all taken hooks, and some of these have written for people like at the biggest level as well, not just through their own record. Jada and Styles, I want to say, have both written for like Diddy, some of the biggest Diddy hits from early on during the golden era.
An entertainer, a producer can.
There isn't a pop star that does not have.
That's why Dre don't get any flack for, obviously he don't write nothing, but like he's a producer and we're there because he's conveying. So as long as the sound sounds dope, but no one's ever put him at the top of the list of a rapper. Definitely as a producer, yeah. Bar none, arguably the best producer of all time. People would definitely argue that and can argue that.
Writers. Anywhere. You cannot name one.
MC Light said years ago, whoever writes your rhymes might as well hold
your
microphone, man.
Does this affect Drake's placement? Yes.
I ain't write all my R&B hits, but I'm still getting his vagina off of it.
To the fan that doesn't pay attention too much, you call that Drake sound, but that's Party. That's what Party and Drake did together.
Absolutely.
And also on the rapping side, that's what Quentin did.
But I think the real skill sets in the rap part, maybe I'm off, but 70% is the actual writing. So if you're not writing, it discredits you.
Yeah, interpretation of the record is actually important as well. But without the lyrics, you have nothing to interpret.
A little bit.
We got to say Jay-Z has ghostwriters. And that's a whole different conversation.
That's just something that they're going to always put on him. He's too successful. When you're that successful, they're going to have something over you. And that's one thing folks going to always say about him. Well, you know he don't write, though.
I got to get these devils out of my life. That's Kanye. I'm from the murder capital where we murder for... That's Kanye. That I gave you.
Yeah, but he took 2 bars and made it a dope verse, you know? Like... That's inspiration. At the end of the day, he's the producer. Kanye's the producer. He's the producer, so he's like seeing the vision through. You know, like of course you listening to the producer of the record. That I give him a little more slack. Come on, Jay Mills. At the end of the day, man, he's the producer. If Timbo goes and be like, no, do it like this, do it like that. That's what they're there for. They're executive producing the song most of the time, and they, as well as you, have a vision for this record. The producers probably sat down with the record for a minute before he's even shown it to you, and already had different ideas for flows and bars here and there. You can't really compare that to the Drake situation. Like, yeah.
I wrote that for you. That's no different than what Quentin Miller did for Jay-Z.
No, it is. It is.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
It is.
Anybody out here that
does Bootleg Kev is just D-Rod and J Mills, and I don't know why.
use ghostwriters, that's fine. If that's what you do. You hear shit about this rapper, that rapper, whatever. I'm telling you that I don't do it.
I could see that, but that's probably why his music was kind of a little stagnant for a little bit. The fact that he prides himself so much, I'm gonna write everything. He did fall into the formula of like the rapidy rap verse, you know what I mean? The million miles per hour rap flow with like the pop hook for a very long time. But I am definitely hearing good things about his latest album, The Death of Slim Shady.
Never have and never will.
You think he ain't had no ghostwriters?
I think he did.
Man, you ain't sitting around 12 niggas just fucking smoking blunts.
Facts,
It's called D12. It's called proof.
You know why I like Drake? He ain't changed up. He's fucking still the singing guy that he was back then. He ain't claiming this fucking killer.
I get it.
Nah,
I get what y'all trying to do.
Fam.
Yeah.
He's been talking like a boss for a very long time.
This generation simply does not care.
Is this the type of rap that we're expecting niggas to write on, or is one of them like, because it's almost like a hybrid? I'm not saying it's R&B, by the way, but it's kind of like this.
Capping, hoping.
I guess it's kind of rapping.
There are other writers in the OVO camp like Nicholas F. There are also many stories.
They have records together too, where they were rapping on the record at the same time. It wasn't just a reference. So these people have been around since the beginning.
Stories of hooks written by others for Drake. For example, his breakout single Best I Ever Had has had a lot of drama behind it.
And I play him this record I had, you know what I'm saying? Like, we could do it real big, bigger than you ever done.
He had a hit
so
back in
just
there.
do it for the boy, do it for the boy. That was the song, the hook and the beat.
With many industry sources crediting Boy Wonder and an artist called Kia Shine.
Having a co-write on the Drake Best I Ever Had record, and it went viral from there.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, people were like so fanboys of Drake that they were like, yeah, man, like, why would you say that, bro?
Additionally, most people in Drake's inner circles were either former rappers.
A Drake stan, man, you could be a fan of an artist. And I know fan is short for fanatic, but some of these stans and their delusion is crazy. And like the lengths they'll go to like try to trash somebody for pushing like an actual real narrative is crazy.
Rappers or artists,
and they all kind of look
including
the same.
his personal trainer, OVO Rocks. Millie Vanilli, a Grammy Award-winning German-French R&B duo, was involved in one of the most notorious scandals in pop music history.
He parodied them in the
December
cover.
1989, Charles Shaw, one of the actual vocalists behind Millie Vanilli's songs, revealed to a reporter that the duo did not sing on their records. Almost a year later, in November 1990, their producer Frank Farian admitted the truth.
He was the guy that basically wrote all the records. But this guy, it wasn't his first time doing this with Millie Vanilli. He also pulled this off with a disco act called Boney M, where he basically got this dancer and some dope background singers, but he got this dancer that never sang, and basically he would lip sync at all their performances, and he would just dance around. It's crazy because I'm pretty sure some of you guys have like already probably seen them. He's been using a lot of memes where it's like basically referring to like, all right, when your parents make you take your little brother to go out, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. But yeah, he was actually the voice of those records. So he's not new to this. And it is really crazy because Drake did, I want to say a few years ago, parody Millie Vanilli in a record cover. So yeah, man, it's kind of going par for course. But the thing about Millie Vanilli was the fact that they weren't singing their music at all. Like they weren't even interpreting it. One of them had a thick like German accent. The other one had a thick French accent. People were already questioning it because during interviews they'd be like, "This doesn't sound like," but like they weren't even. Millie Vanilli wasn't even singing on these songs, which is wild. So I'll cut Drake some slack. At least he was interpreting the records, and it wasn't just some other dude rapping it. He's been lip syncing from like the beginning.
Back in those days, authenticity and credibility were everything.
Facts. They had to give back
Just
the Grammy.
16 days after their producer's confession, Millie Vanilli was dropped by Arista Records, and their Grammy Award was revoked.
Mm-hmm.
Angry fans mobbed outside.
They like gave it back. Technically, they gave it back, but it's the first time it's ever happened.
To stomp and destroy all of their albums in protest, a scene we likely wouldn't see today. But to be fair,
be nothing to
having a
stomp
few
out.
reference tracks is one thing.
Erase.
But not being the voice behind any of the songs on your album is another level of deception.
Yeah.
The Millie Vanilli scandal serves
Their
as a
record
powerful
started
reminder of
skipping
the
on an
importance of
MTV show.
authenticity in the music industry. So what does this all mean for Drake's legacy? While Drake is an incredible songwriter in his own right, his reliance on a collective of writers, including Hush, plays a significant role in his success. However, does this collaborative writing style exclude Drake from being one of the hip-hop greats? Or does it mean he is reinventing the way...
Collaboration is cool, but at the end of the day, if you're doing that, it's going to be really hard to say you're the best at this when you were doing it by committee, or it seems like a lot of your work.
We perceive writing in hip-hop. That largely depends on how dedicated of a hip-hop purist you are. Future conversations on this subject are sure to arise given the frequent leak of new reference tracks. This collaborative approach, similar to Kanye West's creative process, has undeniably contributed to Drake's status as one of hip-hop's brightest stars. Whether you believe using ghostwriters undermines an artist's credibility or not, it's clear that Drake's method of working with talented writers like Hush has helped him create some of the most memorable music of our time. Do all these writing allegations...
Hush is the one thinking of the lyrics while Drake is basically just reciting it off the phone.
...change your opinion on Drake? Or are we too deep as a culture to even care?
Some Brioni, I'm saying. See the name right there. Like 11, I think.
Yeah, man. This tweet to me was kind of crazy. All you niggas who've been acting like Drake finished, bookmark this tweet for 6 months from now. We don't want you niggas nowhere near us. Remember that. I don't think Drake's ever been in the same room with Ak. I think they've maybe been on a few they've probably been on a few FaceTimes, but he's never even met this person in real life. So this is crazy. Near us, like you haven't been near him either, you know, which is wild for you to say. But this is so weird, man. He's had these like Ghostwriter rumors since like the beginning. But this is definitely the first time I've like heard about Tony. I've heard of like Quentin Miller, I've heard of Party and Vori and a host of others. But to see how extensive this guy's credits are with Drake and the type of love that Drake has shown to him before, like exalting him to top 5 in his book, like it's literally telling me like, yo, this dude is pretty much like the architect for like Drake's sound. And it's definitely plausible now that, especially with the amount of like reference tracks come out, who knows how much he did write. I've said earlier, I've seen like videos of him like writing for other artists, but who knows? That could be C+ work, and because of Drake's name, it's gonna like sell automatically. Like that Bieber collaboration where he was writing for Bieber. But who knows if we don't turn around and see Party next to them or Tony next to them? It's who knows? Everything is possible in this day and age. Again, it's to reiterate, a ghostwriter, they get no credit at all. There's a lot of those like early dance songs. A lot of the early dance records had the same issue where they weren't even credited at all, and they had to sue for credit. They weren't even allowed to be in the video because they didn't look a certain way. They didn't look like a supermodel. They were a little bigger, overweight, heavier, so they really didn't get that push. But they were the voice behind it. Can't fake that. Until AI gets a chance to, who knows, in the next few years. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the video. Definitely hit the like and subscribe button, guys. It does the channel wonders. Thank you guys so much. Shout out to the WR channel again. Guys, the channel has been going dope, and it's all thanks to you guys. So I definitely hope you guys love the video, and I hope to see you guys soon.